Tonight, unmasking the bottled water illusion, the hidden costs and the healthier economical alternatives in Malta. And really we're going to go through 10 different things. We're going to look at the costs, whether free water that's available at the supermarket is really free. So let's kick off here with this free water that you can get from the supermarket. Basically, in most supermarkets here, if you spend around 30 euros, you get 200 points, and from the 200 points, you can get 1 pack of water, which is 6 bottles of 2 litres, that's 12 litres of water. So this is modelled on a major supermarket brand, but most of them are pretty much similar. What this means is that for your 200 points, you could swap those into points to spend on something else. So in this particular one that I've modelled on here, 684 points is 5 euros. So each pack of 200 points is worth €1.47. So what you're actually getting is €1.47 worth of water. But if you spent that money on food and you got something else with your points by getting food or something like that and spending it somewhere else, then maybe you could get access to much more water for less money. In fact, a tap water pack of refills, such as 4 of these, which go inside an EcoPro, each of these delivers 1,200 litres of water. That's 600 plastic bottles, or 100 packs of your free water here. So if you just had 1 pack of free water a week, and that's all you had in your points, tap water filters would actually be cheaper than that, because they're only 69 euros, and you could use your points, which would amount to 76.96. You could use that and buy food. So you would be better off just on 1 pack a week. Imagine a family having 2, 3 or 4 packs a week, basically using your points for food instead of water. You would be far better off than this free water. Now, why on earth does Malta rank 3rd in the world per capita for plastic bottled drinking water consumption? I was quite surprised when I found this article. And it's an in-depth report on the global bottled water industry, and it highlighted Malta as 3rd, only just behind Singapore and Australia. And I really wondered why that was, and I don't particularly have an answer. Malta's a developed European nation with infrastructure where we have water and electricity. Well, we have it most of the time. We have good access to it compared to some of the countries on this list. And so I felt that was quite interesting. I don't really have an answer to that. Now, if you have an answer, please do put it into the comments. Something else that I was thinking about was, how about transport, storage and handling affect bottled water quality? There's a particular brand of bottled water that I picked out here. I looked up where it actually came from, and there's a lovely write-up of the fact that this water is from a spring in the Alps. Very beautiful area, and 1,700 kilometers later, it's 49 cents a litre in a plastic bottle. And I wondered how many times you've seen packs of water in the heat outside in Malta and wondered if it's okay. And if it's travelled already 1,700 kilometres, I wonder how long it's been in that plastic bottle. And it's still 49 cents a litre. It's come all this way. It's been left out in the sun. It's been handled in transport. Is that really okay? Is it really worth it? That's the question you may want to ask. It led me to look at the same water, and not to pick this particular brand out in particular. It's owned by one of the major bottling companies, even though it's got an Italian name and an Italian history to it. It's owned by one of the major bottling companies. So I looked at what is the difference between the minerals in this water and the original test results that TAPP Water did on our filtered water right here in Malta. And it was quite interesting because the conductivity, which is measured in microsiemens per centimetre, and that is a measure of the dissolved salts and the minerals in the water in total. And so in Malta tap water, which is quite alkaline, there's 186 microsiemens per centimetre. And in this one, you can see there's 130. So there is actually more minerals in Malta tap water than in this 49 cents a litre bottled water that has been transported 1,700 kilometres. The calcium, fair enough. The calcium, 11.7 milligrams per litre in Maltese tap water, and in this particular bottle of water, there's around 22. And the sodium, 27 milligrams. So there's more sodium in the water here than there is in the bottled water that we had here. And then magnesium, there's actually far more in the Maltese tap water than in this bottled mineral water, because this is classified as mineral water, not table water, which means it's got to meet certain standards as mineral water for the minerals in it. And potassium, there is far more in Maltese tap water than in this particular brand of bottled water. So my question would be, for 47 cents a litre, which is the difference in price between filtered tap water and this plastic bottle, is the slight difference in minerals that you get in the bottled water, is that really worth it to you for 47 cents a litre? It's not clear to me that it would really be worth it. But then I've got access to as much drinking water as I want for 2 cents a litre or less. I also wondered about the chemicals that leach from plastic bottles into the water, and how much research has been done on that. In fact, this is an expanding area of research, and something I mention quite often in these live shows. So there is a May 2022 report that found that the dangers of chemicals leaching into water in bottled water is greater with rPET, that is recycled plastic bottles. So that's plastic bottles made out of recycled plastic. There is more danger with the recycled PET than there is in the actual PET, and there is enough danger with the actual plastic bottles. So in this particular report, which you'll be able to get in the downloads from our website after this live, over 150 chemicals were found leaching into drinks from plastic bottles. And 18 of these chemicals exceeded the levels allowed in the regulations. That is fairly serious when you think about it. And if you have ever come across the scenario where you've left a plastic bottle of water or some other drink in the car, on your car seat, and then gone out for a bit and then come back, and you realize it's warm and hot, and you probably think, oh, I'm not going to drink that because it might be a bit yuck, and you don't drink it, right? Because this is like a natural thing. Imagine that's happening all the time with the bottles of water and other drinks that you get that are in plastic bottles. There are reasons why you might not think it's a great idea to drink it. And certainly the research is now backing some of this intuitive thought you may have had in the past, is backing it up. Microplastics, that's another big area of more research happening. There's no regulations on microplastics currently. There are some regulations just coming in on eliminating microplastics from certain cosmetics and other products so that they're not used. But there's no regulation on microplastics in drinking water. And I think this is one of the areas that's up and coming. There's more research about it. There is some research that says we're probably ingesting somewhere around 5 grams per week of microplastics in both our food and water systems. And in fact, this piece of research that I've looked at here says that every time you open the plastic bottle, 500 pieces of microplastics fall into your water. So as soon as you open it the first time, even if you only use the plastic bottle once, you're still getting a load of microplastics. And there's been lots of other research about microplastics being found in bottled water. Some, not necessarily studies done in Malta, these are global studies. In fact, there's a 2018 one where loads of different brands were tested and all of them had microplastics in. So just recently, there had been some news articles about the state of groundwater in Malta. And in fact, one of those articles was one of the ones that I discussed a couple of weeks ago on Malta Today. And there were certain concerns about the high level of nitrates and the chemical contaminants in Malta groundwater. And it's important because Malta groundwater makes up about 35% of the blend of potable water that we have here in our public supply. So 60-something, 65%, 66% is reverse osmosis, so 2/3, and 1/3, approximately, just a little bit more, is groundwater. And that groundwater is relatively highly contaminated with some chemicals and some nitrates. And so one of the major bottlers, and I've tried not to name them here, but one of the major bottlers came out with an article saying, don't worry about the groundwater because we don't use it. We pay for all our water and we get it from Water Services Corporation. So it made me think that it was interesting confirmation that actually one of the major bottlers, what they're actually saying is they don't use groundwater, they use tap water. So what they're doing is they are giving you filtered tap water in a bottle. And I just think it's probably when we're sort of unmasking the bottled water illusion, as it were, it's interesting to think about what they're actually doing and keep it quite clear in your mind. In your bottled water is filtered tap water. Now, obviously, it's been through a purification system, a cleaning system, and then it's been transported and stored and packed and all sorts of things, right? But it's filtered tap water at the beginning and at the end. So I wondered if I bottled air in a bottle and gave it to you and said it had been cleaned up, would you buy it? And probably it's not a very good analogy, but the answer would be, of course not. But we do with bottled water, don't we? And here in Malta, we do the third highest per capita consumption in the world, just after Singapore and Australia. And I still don't know why. Do you? Would you like to make a comment? So how much is the water worth that's in your plastic bottle? So you're buying it for 49 cents. And I've got this wonderful image of the magician that I particularly like. And the magician is turning 0.003325, that's 3,000th of a cent. And it's turning, the magician is turning that into 50 cents, which is what you pay for your 2-litre bottle of water. So that's 3,000th of a cent is all the water is actually worth if you're buying it from Water Services Corporation and you're paying the tariff that's non-domestic tariff. That's what it's worth. 0.003325, like nothing. So what is actually the cost of a plastic bottle? Well, it's the cost of the plastic bottle, the production, not very much. The packaging, not very much. The sales and marketing, oh, a lot more. And the distribution and the retailer markup. So at least half the cost, according to this image from Flow Water in the US, at least half the cost that you're paying when you pay your 50 cents is just in distribution and retailer markup. So 3/4 of it would be distribution, retailer markup, and sales and marketing. And the rest of it is production, of which the water itself is 0.001%. I mean, the only good side of that, I suppose, is the amount of people that are employed in all of these services, which, you know, one would always like them to have a job, like we hope everyone has a job. But from what you're paying for, from a value point of view, I think it's really important to remember that you're paying for marketing, distribution, packaging, and production of a plastic bottle. And so when you're doing that, you're contributing environmental costs. And these are probably much heavier in many ways than what you're actually paying at it in money. It takes 3 litres of water to make a plastic bottle with 2 litres of water in it. I mean, that doesn't even sound right when you say it, does it? It just sounds ridiculous. Why would you do that? CO2 produced in the atmosphere. I mean, you buy your electric car and then you what do? Go to the supermarket and buy plastic bottles of water and contribute to the CO2 emissions that way? I mean, that kind of doesn't make sense either. And oil is actually used in production. And the analysis here suggested that a quarter bottle of oil is used in the production and distribution of a 2-litre plastic bottle of water. I don't know, does it sound sensible at all? Is it about time that we just saw this for what it is, which is an illusion created by marketing companies and clever salesmanship to suggest to you that bottled water is in some way better than tap water? And it's not. There are 15 ways of plastic bottles are polluting our planet in this particular article. I just picked out 3. The 3 I picked out is it takes 3 times the amount of water to make a plastic bottle, which just sounds absurd. It takes 1,000 years for a plastic bottle to decompose after you've used it just once, one time, and then 1,000 years waiting for it to decompose. The decomposition just leaks more chemicals into the environment. And I think it's important to remember this is all about oil. This is what's driving this, is production of oil is driving the production of plastic. It's something to remember, perhaps, when you're thinking of this illusion that the plastic bottle of water is for you. So, do you have any other options? Well, you may want to think about drinking filtered tap water at home. You get a government grant to do that now. So there's some government incentive there of 40% for you to drink filtered water at home without any bottles. No more BCRS, no more carrying your bottles from the supermarket to the car, up the stairs and all that kind of stuff. It pays for itself really quickly. I mean, of course it would do. If you buy a water filter, either one of ours or a different kind of system, it's likely to pay for itself very quickly unless it's very expensive. Tap water systems cost less than €100 to get started most of the time. With the government grant, they're sort of less than €60. That's all it's going to take you to get started, and that includes a year's worth of filters. Then next year your filters are like €59 or €69, starting from 59. It's eco-friendly, you save loads of time, it's a lot easier. You don't run out. I mean, yes, you could run out of filters, but you don't really run out of water on a Sunday night when the shops are shut. That's really not going to happen. And most people ask us about the taste. That's the thing they're worried about. They've drunk bottled water for a long time, maybe. And they're worried they won't like the taste. I think it's very... It's normal to think that you can't drink the tap water in Malta. So therefore, why would a filter work? And we guarantee the taste. So we guarantee you like it. We've had independent test results done on the filter, and you can see those on our website. Independent test results that say the filter works very well in removing 100 different contaminants from the water in Malta. The taste is guaranteed because once you remove the chlorine, the heavy metals and stuff like that, the taste is actually really good. And as we showed in one of the previous slides, there's actually a nice high mineral content in the water here. And so it tastes good. If you wanted to know more about the filtration systems itself, you can have a look on the filtration side. This is the EcoPro Compact. It's the smallest water filter available in Malta. It's just got a simple filter change here. All you do is unscrew this and you just change this. This will give you 400 litres of water. So that's the equivalent of 200 plastic bottles. 200 plastic bottles is at least €100. And you get 6 of these for €59. So it's an awful lot cheaper and saves you a lot of money. It's also environmentally friendly because all you'll be throwing away is 6 of these a year. And it's nice and easy to attach to most kitchen mixers. It just attaches here. And you've got a switch here, so normal water goes out through here, and then you switch it like that, and then filtered water goes out of here. It's a real simple thing. And it's very good for the environment. You get a 40% government grant on it. And it's saving you an awful lot of money, and you will no longer be part of that huge illusion that we have of the plastic bottle of water where you have 0.003 of a cent of water inside a plastic bottle that you pay 50 cents for. Thank you for watching Unmasking the Bottled Water Illusion. I hope you've been able to glean something from this that will help you.